Hashem Elohei Yisrael Mimini Michael Umismoli Gabriel Umilefanai Uriel Meachorai Refael Al Roshi Shelchin Nasel Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos. It's so good to see so many of you. So good to be with all of you on this beautiful, beautiful early Shabbat. And you're here early in the service to sing and to be present for the Higalena, the power of taking off our work week. Some of you might take off the work week with some breathing, so maybe begin to breathe in and out and release the week. Maybe singing, just letting out sound and just Each of you are carrying the week that you had. And Shabbat has room for everything that you want to hand over, as it were, to Shabbat, into the sukkah of peace, of wholeness, and of tranquility and serenity. Higalena. Gale, 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 na. Ufros, fros, chavivi alai. Etzuka, suka, shlom, Gane, 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 na. Ufros, fros, chavivi alai, alai, etzuka. Suka Shlomecha Shlomecha. Every breath can bring us more peace. Higale, gale, gale, Now, please, please, frost, Havivi alai, aleinu, it's soon kat, soon kat, shno.
V'chu neranena Adonai Nariya v'tzoyishaynu Nekadma fanav v'toda Bizmiros Nariya lo Hey Aida Ida 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 Hey Ida 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 Hey Ida 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 Gadol Melech Gadol Kolim
Every other wicked the sofa, sorry, no, Shelo Hayami was sound. Never God, live now, don't I say no.
Arbaim Shana Akuz Bedor Vaomar Am Toei Levav Heim Vehem Lo Yadu Derachai Asher Nishbati Be'api Im Yevon El Menuchati Eida 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 Let's keep singing together.
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו יום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, וכל הארץ נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ולא מאוד נורא הוא כל אלוהים, כי כל אלוהי עמים אלילים, אדוני שמיים בשר, הוד ההדר לפניו, עוז לתפארת במקדשו, Havul Adonai Mishpechot Damim, Havul Adonai Kavod Haor, Havul Adonai Kevod Shemo, Zeru Mincha Uvol Chatzrotav, Shachavul Adonai B'Hadrat Kodesh, Chilu Mipanav Kol Haaretz, Imru V'Gayim Adonai Melech, Atiko Tevel V'Atiko, Yadinami Ben Beisharem, Yesnichu Hashamayim V'Tagel Haaretz, Yeramayam Omelo Yalo Sadai V'Chol Hashemo, Yiranu Kol Hatzeyar L'fnei Adonai, Kiva Yishmor Haaretz, Yishmor Tevel V'Tzedek, Ami B'Emunato, This new song and all new songs and so many songs that I know and so many songs that I feel, I dedicate to my teacher who passed today. Basam Sabah, amazing, beautiful, spiritual, musical teacher, my Ud teacher, my Middle Eastern musical teacher. So I dedicate everything I sing to him today. Mizmor l'David, Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai kavod va'oz, Havul Adonai kevod shmo, Kishtachavul Adonai b'Hadrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod hirim Adonai al mayim ramim, Kol Adonai b'koach, Kol Adonai b'hadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayishaber Adonai et arzei halevanon, Vayakidem kemo egel, Levano v'Sirion kemo v'Nureim, Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yecholel ayalo, Vayechesof yeharot uvechalo kulo merkavot, Adonai lamabul yashav, Vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz liamo yitein, Adonai yivarech esamo v'shalom, Yadarai, 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 May his memory be a blessing and a joy for all the music that he brought to this world.
this thing called memory. Amen. We know that Shabbat is called Zecher L'Maaseh Bereshit, a remembrance of creation, and a remembrance of those who brought us into the presence of creation, into the presence of the holy. And so we pray each and every Friday night, Yachid Ge'eh Le'amecha Panei Zochei Kedushatecha, you singular one, you indivisible one, you behind all of our experiences that bring us to this moment. We are ones who turn to the holy. We're holy turners. We find our way to teachers and mentors and friends and family and support that remind us in moments when it's very easy to forget what it is that is most sublime, most holy, most important to us. And Shabbat is the remembrance of remembrances, each and every week, a touchstone of Zikaron L'Maaseh Bereshit. So take a moment and place it on your heart. What is that which is most holy to you, most sublime, the ground of being? Singular and lofty. With each breath I turn in remembrance of this people who chant of the holy, of the sacred. Yachir Ge'eh Le'amecha Panei Zochrei Kedusha Secha Yachid Ge'eh Le'amecha Panei Zochrei Kedusha Secha. Sing with me. So I invite you to take a moment now, everyone, just to, if you feel comfortable, closing your eyes and just feeling the seat that's holding you. Just notice that, bring awareness to that holding that is already there, that we might not notice until we bring our attention to it. So just notice the holding and the support and the presence in your body of the chair as it holds you, or the sofa, or if you're standing like me, the earth beneath your feet, as we gently slow ourselves down, allowing ourselves to vibrate at the frequency of peace, at the frequency of spaciousness, of non-rushed, hurried, check everything off on your pray list and your to-do list. With each breath, giving yourself permission to let Shabbat in. To friends and family, wherever they are, and to friends here in this room together, knowing how much you're holding permission to be held. And with each breath, inviting you to breathe in more space, more nishama yitera, more, to expand your soul's space, let it fill. And noticing the softening of the eyes and the softening at the end of the exhale, the rest of the body as the shoulders relax, as the eyebrows and maybe the forehead take a breather. They soften too. And last minute here of receiving Shabbat before Lechat Odi. Enjoying the silence, maybe. Enjoying the feeling of your face and relaxing. Let's take a couple of deep breaths together. ודיבור אחד ישמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולצילה לך אדוני Kas kala venei Shabbos nekabela Tikra ze Shabbos lechu venelecha ki mekol הבנחה לראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי נקרא גס קלה Shabbos nekabela מקדש מלך, עיר מלוכם, קומי צאי מתוך ההפיכה, רב לך שבס בעמק הבכה, וכון יחמול עלייך חמלה. היי לך דודי לקרס קלה, בני שבס נקבלה.
מקדש מלך, עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך ההפיכה, אוי אוי רב לך שבס בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. יאי לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. את נערים מעפר קומי, לפשי בגדי תפארתך, עמי על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קרב על נפשי גאולה. אוי לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת, שבת נקבלה.
התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי.
אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה.
לך דודי לקרס קלה, פני
שבת נקבלה.
like that, ay la 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 la. Ambaray lecha dodi,
Boi v'shalom ateres b'hala gam v'simcha u'v'tzahala toch emunei am segula boi chala Shabbat Hanukkah hayya lecha dodi hayya lekrat kala hayya penei Shabbat penei Shabbat nekabelo.
We sing a song for Shabbat, whoa, mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir leyom ha-Shabbat, mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir leyom ha-Shabbat, mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir leyom ha-Shabbat, mizmor, shir, shir leyom ha-Shabbat. The whole wide world is waiting to sing a song of Shabbat. The whole wide world is waiting to sing a song of love and harmony. The whole wide world is waiting. All the singing in song of Shabbat. Hey, the whole wide world waiting to sing this song with us. Oh, we're also waiting to sing a song of Shabbat. We're also waiting to sing a song of Shabbat. Tzadik katamar yifrach. We're planted in God's house, we will blossom. We will be fruitful even as we age. The shenim v'ranim yiyu. Le'agid ki yashar Adonai tzuri v'lo avla tabo.
Let's hold these names as they scroll. Hold each name. Pray for each person's heart and soul and body. Ana Elna, Ana Elna Refanala, Ana Elna, Ana Elna Refanala, Ana Elna, Ana Elna Refanala. A full recovery of healing in mind, body, and spirit come soon, and let us say, Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chazan Basia, for bringing your teacher, the memory of your teacher, into the shul tonight, into our shul's room, our Zoom room, shul room. So beautiful to bring someone whose memory and whose impact on you clearly is so profound, and through that to all of us who have been the beneficiaries of your immense gifts and the gifts that were cultivated through this relationship, bringing you to a place of creativity and ingenuity and innovation. So may his memory be a blessing, and may all those who are in need of healing tonight and throughout the Shabbat be healed. We're so blessed to be in one of the most healing remedies that we know of, which is community. And even if community now is through little squares over here, little Hollywood squares, little squares on the screen, nonetheless, seeing faces, even in the Zoom room, is healing. And so this is a Sam Chaim, this is a potion, an elixir of vitality and aliveness. So I'm looking around the room, and I'm just so thankful for all of you being here. And I'm also abundantly aware that Romemu, like all spiritual communities, are kind of essential at this moment in so many ways. And the resources that are available to the community through our programming in spirituality, our programming in Torah and wisdom, and also through communal activity is a resource. And so I have a couple of resources to share with you. Thank you to Rebecca for sharing these slides. Everybody, as you can see on the screen in front of you, Shabbat, of course, tonight, you're all here. It's started at 6 o'clock, and tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'll be teaching the open book, and we'll have some Torah study tomorrow morning before we move to our Shabbat services at 10 o'clock. And of course, we know that that Shabbat services now begin at 6 o'clock because of the earlier times, and we have to keep registering so that we kind of avoid the Zoom bombing that started happening when I shared the Siddur a little while ago. So that's good. We have so much happening for Hanukkah. Gathering is happening each and every day and night of Hanukkah. There is something to plug into in some way, shape, or form. So you can check it out here. It's going to be hard to kind of look at it clearly, right? But just notice that we have family programming happening. There's a special family Shabbat on December 12th. There's also a Revaya Havdalah ecstatic dance party on December 12th as well. That's on Saturday night, December 12th, next Shabbat. And we'll be partnering together with Kol Chai, which is our dear Rabbi Shir Yaakov's community. Thank you. Sorry, I went ahead. Here we are. Kol Chai, the New Paltz Jewish community around the corner from where I am right now, will be joining them for that Havdalah next Saturday night. So take a look at that. It's also on the website as well, romemu.org. And as you saw, just a glimpse, I'm going to be teaching with a remarkable musician and translator named Haleh Gafori, and she and I will be in conversation with music, as well as with Chazan Shechter. Chazan Basi is going to be with us as well. I think that's next Sunday the 13th. That should be an evening of poetry. And, Chazan Basia, Haleh, you guys jam together, you make music together. It should be remarkable, right? That evening.
Incredible. She's incredible. She sings Persian music and her own stylization of it, and she's a real spirit. It's really worth coming. Everybody should really be there.
And you too. You'll be also offering your unique music through your original compositions for Hanukkah. It should be a beautiful, beautiful evening, December 13th.
And I want to say, David, we should add that it's hosted by Paulette and Lena Cole, Romemu members, at an incredible place up in Hudson called True North, which will be a real sight to see, and sponsored by Romemu members Jade Netanya and Adam Growald. So a huge thanks to all of them.
That is a huge thanks. Thank you for that. Jeffrey, where'd you come from? You just came right in like that. Just Jeffrey came in out of nowhere. I didn't even know where you were. So happy. What's next? We have our Romemu kitchen is doing incredible work. We tip our yarmulkes. We bow before the power of Romemu's Social Justice Committee and Dyke and Nelson. Really, free monthly meals are happening at the Romemu Kitchen. This coming on that very Sunday, next Sunday, they'll be preparing and cooking and prepping and packing food for the Upper West Side community in the neighborhood there. So that's really important. So check that out. And this little bundle of joy, unbelievable. This is my favorite thing as a rabbi. I get to marry a couple. Like, this was a whole naturalization conversion into a marriage, into this beautiful bundle of joy. We're so big mazel tov to Thomas and to Eliza on the birth of Joseph Orien. Yosef Or, which means more light, right? More light came into the world on 11/11, auspicious day for this little bundle of yumminess right there. So welcome to the world and welcome to the Romemu community, Yosef Or. I have a little place in my heart for that name, Yosef Or. And our lifelong learning classes are happening, right, all week long, all month long. Just look at all of the amazing resources. We had someone last night on one of our, in a Romemu Reconnect, where members who have been a part of the Romemu community for a long time were reconnecting and learning together and being with one another. And I think it was Liliana who said, more Torah. Well, Liliana, I see you. There's more Torah. Look at all this Torah that's going on, all this wonderful learning. Romemu's adult education, our Romemu Yeshiva, the two great classes with our two faculty members of the Romemu Yeshiva. So check that out as well. And I think that's about it. Am I right? That's it. Here we are. Right? Now here we are. So thank you, by the way. So Rebecca Feldman wrote into the chat area that we are serving food twice a month this December. So it's both December 13th, next Sunday, as well as December 27th. If you can help volunteer, you're in the city. That would be incredible. Really beautiful. We have a couple of new people probably who are here. And so if you're here for the first time, in any which way that you came, the chat area is a good place for you to put your name and where you're from so we can say hi, a little howdy. We wish we could give you a hug, but we're just going to say hi to you here in the chat area. Anybody here for the first time? Anybody? Let's see. I'm going to wait. Start looking here.
Looks like 190 returnees. Oh no, here.
It looks like no, yeah, just wait. It always takes a minute, right?
I know, it's like the impatience. Okay, here we go.
Oh, it's okay. I know we're slowing down. There's Astria Bella. Yeah, so you're not writing it in, but I think that we would have to ask you to unmute. But we have Maida and Howard Silver from White Plains. Welcome.
And Mariel, where are you coming to us from? Shabbat Shalom. Are you here for the first time?
Well, there's someone, Astria Bella from Bay Area, California, who's moving to New York. There's your answer, Rebecca. Isn't that great? There's someone named Amy who's here for the first time from One Spirit, our sister community. Our former executive director of Romemu, Eileen Samuth, is the CEO there. Pretty remarkable. Amy's from Reading, Pennsylvania. Welcome. Are you seeing anything that we need, Rebecca? Anybody here?
I don't think so. Mariel, you're in Harlem. That's great.
That's
I
awesome.
love this. Look at all this connection happening.
I know.
Jamie and Amy connecting.
I know. Jamie is a one-spiriter. Beautiful. Hi to Mom in Brooklyn. Dr. Siegel is from Great Neck, my hometown. Welcome, Astria. It's good that you're coming back home. Now is also a good time to a big yesher koch to our rabbinic intern, Maya Zinko, on a remarkable, unbelievable, stupendous, someone in Minnesota. There you go. There's Marlene from Minnesota. Marlene's in Minnesota. Marlene Steiner. But back to Maya, who gave one of the most remarkable sermons. Her senior sermon this past week on Thursday was just remarkable. So beautiful to have someone as talented as Maya in our community and also serving the Jewish people in the world. Let's see. Roberta, thank you so much. Middle of the service, we get some compliments and some energy. So lovely. Roberta, you're also wonderful in North Carolina. And let's see who else. Yonina is in Buffalo, here for the second time. If you are able to stand. Nice. Karen and Joni are friends from Temple Beth El in Great Neck. Beautiful. Great. Max is up in a Hindu priest tea farm. That's interesting. Wonderful. Yes, indeed. Keep singing with us. Ana Luisa is in Mexico as usual. We invite all of you, if you are able to rise, okay. As we call to community, we do the bowing and blessing, known as the Baruch Hu. We rise together, la 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 la. Baruch Hu es Adonai, Adonai, Hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. You may be seated as we continue. Bruchat Shechina Eloheinu Ruach Olam Shebidvaram Ariva Aravim B'chokhmah potachat sharim u'betuna. Day becomes night, night becomes day. Each moment passes to the next. The cycler of day and night, rolling light away before darkness and darkness away before light. Help us to breathe into impermanence as we let go, let go, let go. Ela chaya v'kayemet, tamid timlach aleinu li'olam va'ed, beruchat Shechina. Hamariva Ravim, ay 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 lai lai, la 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 la. We touch what is always ever present, love. There's love right now all around you. In places that you aren't noticing, there is an avat olam. In every thought that arises in your heart and in your mind in this moment, there is love. Through Torah and through sacred acts that align us with our ancestors, we are taught the path of human evolution and human flourishing, and therefore source of love and light, our power. As we lay down and as we rise up each and every day, we meditate upon the Torah of chesed, of goodness and loving kindness. This is what gives our days longevity and fullness. They are the length of our days. And we meditate upon it morning and evening. Ve'avatcha al tasir mimenu li'olamim. May we never ever forget the love that is one breath away. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Ay ay la 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 la. we prepare for Shema together. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת bam. Speak to them so that it goes bam, inside. ושבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם ליאוס על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכסבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We continue with the second paragraph that reminds us, if we really listen, aligning ourselves to love the well of life and serve it with all our heart and soul. Yishamru lachem, guard yourselves lest your hearts be seduced, and you turn and serve alienated gods and bow down to them. Then the well of life will be wounded and will close up the sky so that there is no rain, and the earth will yield no harvest, and you will be lost from the good land. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Put these words on your hearts, on your souls, bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them dangle between your eyes. Teach your children to speak of them. Ki me'ashamayim al ha'aretz vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor. The breath of life spoke to Moshe, speak to the God-wrestling people and say to them, Daber el b'nei Yisrael v'yamarta liyam yatzu la'em etzitzit al kanfei b'gdeihem l'dorosam, and put a thread of blue in the corners. These threads will be wingtips for you, guiding you on the right path. You will look at them and remember all of the ways of the breath of life and do them, not be misdirected by your hearts or by your eyes. Ni Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeisi eschem me'eretz Mitzrayim le'os lachem la'Elohim. Adonai Elohechem Amen.
Mi chamocha bo'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilos osefele, Torah tehilos osefele, b'alechutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'eliyanu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam yoed, v'nem magifada Adonai et Yaakov, u'ge'olo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai God Yisrael. As we prepare to go under the canopy of peace and pray, we are looking for those words that will comfort us under the canopy of peace. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Havidenu Malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha. Etagdenu beit hatova milpanecha. Lay us down in peace, author of the stars. Raise us up to life, ground of our being. Spread over the sukkah, the shelter of your peace. Give us counsel, help us repair our lives. Rescue us so we may live. Your name in us, defend us. Spread over us the sukkah, the shelter of your peace. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai Aporei sukat shalom. Aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'al Yerushalayim.
Please rise if you're able. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורוסם בריס עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל עושים לק עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים yes הארץ וביום השביעי שבס וינפש חצי קדיש
יתקדר ויתקדש שמי רבה. עמד יברח חיבותי וימלך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחייך בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו
אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם יומי עלמיה יסברך יסברך וישתבח ויספאר וישרומם וישנשא ויסהדר ויסעלה ויסהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל בנכסה ושיר עשה תוש בחסה ונחם עשה דמירנה ועלמה אין לרסי
Amen.
The Amidah is on the screen in front of you, or a version of the Amidah, the prayer together. This is an interpretive Amidah, and I'll make it the screen a little bit bigger for you all as we find our own way into this silence at this moment. Please take the next few minutes for yourself and your own prayer space. emet ata hu rishon ata hu acharon umi baladecha Didinai nadai nai nadai Hai nadai nai nai la nadai Hai nadai hey lai 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 Emet, titein emet li'akov. Somehow in the way that our tradition parses out qualities and verbs and adjectives to the various biblical figures, somehow Jacob, of all people, is given the quality known as emet, truth. Emet, truth, honesty, kenut, direct. If ever there was a candidate who did not deserve that appellation, it would be our patriarch, Jacob. From the moment that Jacob is introduced to us in the Torah, Jacob is a character who is wrestling with his older brother and then somehow taking advantage of his older brother Esau's hunger. He manages to gently guide Esau to releasing his Bechorah, his birthright. Jacob, of course, is also the one who deceives his father Isaac as Isaac's eyes dim. Jacob receives a blessing that should have gone to his older brother. And so, Vayakiveni ze pa'amayim, Esau screams, this character named Jacob, the one who is known as the heel, Yaakov from the word Ekev, heel, he is also the crooked one. He is deceptive. From the moment that Jacob appears on the scene, Jacob's quality is not truth, but the opposite of truth. It is deception, hiding. It is finding any which way he can to get ahead. He's the opportunist par excellence. He somehow finds a way not only to steal a blessing, but also to become wealthy off of the flocks of his father-in-law Laban. Jacob does not get emet, truth, unless we understand truth in a slightly different way. In order for us to understand how Jacob came to be seen as truth, we need to understand what Jacob's truth is. What is it that Jacob arrives at that allows the tradition to give such an outrageously, outlandishly inaccurate adjective to our third and final patriarch, Yaakov? A clue, of course, and maybe the full, actually, story manifests tomorrow morning in the Torah reading. Tomorrow morning, you could not ask for a more profoundly beautiful literary portion of the Torah. Jacob knows that the past, his past, will come back. And so Jacob, in tomorrow morning's reading, preemptively reaches out to his estranged brother, a brother whom we haven't heard from in over 2 decades, a brother that he has not communicated with, a brother who at last glance promised that as soon as Isaac would die, as soon as his father would die, that he would kill his brother Jacob. Jacob was on the run from the reenactment of the Cain and Abel story, and Jacob knows it. And tomorrow morning, Jacob sends preemptively a retinue to go find Esau. And instead, he discovers that Esau is on the way to find him. Jacob's discovery is that Esau is come looking for him. And the full pathos of Jacob's character comes to the fore. He's terrified. everything that he has. He knows he didn't have at last glance when he had met Esau, and so he divides the camp and he takes the entirety of his family to one side of a river called Yabok, and then the Torah tells us that he winds up alone somehow back on the original side of that same river, and there in the famous scene he wrestles with an Ish. He has a wrestling match, and all of this takes place under darkness of night. By night he had brought his wives and all that he values and all that he loves over to safety. By night he had returned, and at night he's Ya'avek Ish Imo. He fights with this archangel or this Ish, this mysterious being. Jacob's nocturnal struggles and wrestling, of course, has always been the case. Jacob has always done things by night. From the moment that he left his parents' home, the sun set on him, literally and figuratively. His life becomes movement in the night. He marries the wrong woman in the night. He marries and he makes money in the night. Jacob's life is all nocturnal. He wrestles with this mysterious individual, and then the Torah tells us that at the end of this wrestling match, a match where he is not bested by this mysterious being, but rather they come to a draw. Ki lo yacholo, they couldn't overpower one another, and Jacob gets a new name. He's told by this figure, you are now going to be called Yisrael. Jacob's name now is Yisrael, the one who struggles and wrestles with God and men. And then this moment, Jacob asks this mysterious being asks for this mysterious being's name as well. And the mysterious being says, Lama ze tish'al l'shmi vayivarech oto sham. Why do you ask for my name? Doesn't give his name. The scene shifts, and here we see Jacob. Vaikra Yaakov Shema Makom Peniel. Jacob names the place Peniel, face of God. Ki ra'iti Elohim panim el panim vatinatzel nafshi. I have seen God face to face, and my soul has been saved. Vayizrach lo hashemesh, and the sun shines on Jacob as he is passing through Peniel, and the Torah tells us that he is limping on his leg. V'hu tzoleh al Yericho. The final verse of this story brings us one of the oddest verses in the Torah. Al kain lo yochlu b'nei Yisrael gid hanasheh asher al kaf hayarech. Glossing the story at the final moment of this absolutely remarkable mythic tale of wrestling and new names and rebirth and all of that mess is a gloss about Jewish customs. Therefore, the Bible tells us, Torah tells us, the Jewish people have the custom not to eat the sinew called the sciatic nerve, the gid hanasheh, this ligament of nasheh that is found in the hollow of the hip until this day, for Jacob's own hip was dislocated in that place. What a remarkable story, and what a crazy way to end this story. What do the dietary conditions of the Jewish people have to do with Jacob's wrestling match, with his new name, with his naming of a place? Is Jacob's whole life leading up to this moment where he wrestles, he's about to meet his brother, and we're told that the place where Jacob's hip is dislocated has become, for all generations, something that we refuse to put into our mouths and to swallow. Jacob is afraid of his past. Jacob is a man on the run, but he recognizes that the stories that he told himself and the stories by which he was both seen and wanted to be seen were stories that were killing him. Stories that were hemming him in and keeping him locked in a place of terror, lest his brother come along, lest his past catch up to him, lest finally, he is outed for the inauthentic human that he has been. wearing somebody else's clothes. And the text is also full of the pathos of a life lived where he has to try on his brother's clothes to receive the blessing of his own father. A blessing that he might not have wanted, but was kind of pulled into by the family system. And here he is wrestling and being told to claim his own name. Not the name that he used to deceive his father Isaac, but finally to say, my name is Jacob, the mysterious man asked him. And Jacob says, yes, that is my name. And no sooner has he said the truth of his name, without any garments, without any hiding, he's given a new name, a name of strength, a name of power. And the very first thing that Jacob wants to know is, do you also have a name? If I'm coming out and I'm telling you the truth of who I am, my truth, you tell me yours too. I showed you mine, you showed me yours. I was vulnerable. Can you be vulnerable too? He's not met with vulnerability, he's met with a mask. Why do you ask for my name, says the angelic, mysterious being. And then the next moment in Jacob's journey, he says, I really have seen what I didn't want to see face to face, and it saved my life. Even if the world didn't receive my vulnerability with the level of vulnerability that I disclosed, it didn't matter to Jacob. He said, I needed to say who I was, to tell my story, to tell the truth of who I am. I needed to hear myself say it. I needed to say it out loud. And even if it wasn't reciprocated, even if it wasn't reflected back, even if it wasn't mirrored, Jacob will now, in the very next moment of his journey, appropriate that power. I have seen the divine face to face. It saved me. I once was lost, but now I've been found. And so Jacob now does something remarkable. He names a place. He says, I belong. I can give a name to a place. I don't have to keep running from one place to another. I am now more comfortable with my truth, who I am, and I will stand firm here and name this ground as a place where God showed me God's face to face. And then the Torah says something remarkable. Jacob has the sun rise on him, the light of day. He's no longer a man of the night, but he will become a man of clarity. He'll become a human who can live with the full truth, the full catastrophe of his life, and own it and be truthful with it and show it loud and proud. It's not the end of his journey. He'll go back and forth. Vayizrach lo hashemesh ka'aver asher avar. The sun rises on Jacob in a way that it never did before. He can see clearly now, but he has a limp. And the story ends with this remarkable dietary custom. In the place where Jacob was wounded, in the place where Jacob was dislocated, in the place where Jacob's wrestling brought him to the full truth of who he was with the wound, with the reality of his story, we are told never to swallow that truth ever again, the truth of hiding. We are told never ever to put into our mouths a vein whose name means the vein of forgetting, the Gid HaNasheh, the vein of forgetting. The danger of hiding away a secret, of hiding away a place in our lives where we think it won't come looking for us. But we who seek truth, we who want to live fully, must be willing to recognize that the price we pay for swallowing the vein of forgetting is a life on the run, a life without the sun's power to heal and to bring us to a place of clarity. I so appreciate Jacob's life. I appreciate Jacob's fear that that which he wanted to avoid his whole life would come and destroy his family, all that he had built. I can identify with that character. Just this past Friday night, Rabbi Kolaresa spoke so profoundly about stories that are often impossible to tell, and maybe more importantly, impossible for others to hear. And how that listening that isn't available can silence us from the truth that we are born to speak. And then this past Thursday, as I listened to you, Maya, speak about your Remarkable grandmother who experienced such profound loss and also was able to find such profound joy. I thought about my own fear of telling my story. How over the last decades of my life, in various bits here and there, I spoke about my own experiences as a young man, as a young child, and then as a young man. I spoke in a way that was very transparent at various moments of my rabbinate about the struggle to keep a story inside that I wanted so deeply to share. And I understand how it is that we silence ourselves out of fear that we might lose friends and family, that we might lose relationships, that we might receive the opprobrium of those who can't listen in the way that we need them to hear the truths of our secrets as they are aired and allowed to meet the warmth of the sun of healing. I imagine that in Jacob too, as he began to limp, wondering if this new way of walking in the world was his true way of walking in the world, with his wounded heel, his woundedness. And I think of his story, and I think about this appellation that the rabbis gave him, Titein Emet LeYaakov, truth. The truth of Jacob is not that he wasn't deceptive, but in spite of that, he found a way to be honest. He found a way to work with the places where he continued to hide and to run away from the truth so that he could be amiti, truthful. I think in his story, in mine, in the story of you, Maya, and your grandmother, in the story of Rabbi Kol Reses and her Syrian heritage, in all of these stories, what emerges for me over and over again is that we don't know the truth of the person who stands across from us. And that the danger at this moment, so much in the zeitgeist of this moment, is that we forget about the individuals as we speak about systems of oppression, big, big things, right, that we must dismantle. But the person who stands before us has an inside, a panim, a pnimiut, that we can't ever know. We can't know, looking at anyone, how their pain manifests, how the truth of their story looks, how their successes and failures, the shape of that life is its own unique truth. And so Jacob tomorrow will tell me and you and each and every one of you. Each of you has a particular limp, a particular way that you walk, that you've learned to walk or learned not to walk, a particular story that you have learned to keep to yourself or not. And Jacob comes along tomorrow and he says, truth is wrestling until you have a new name. Not closing down even when your story isn't heard. Naming the places where you do belong. And never ever swallow the vein of forgetting. For that is the way that leads to suffering. I bless each and every one of you tonight and tomorrow, wherever you are, to hear that echo. How is it that your stories or your secrets or the things that you can't allow the light of day to touch, how might those, in little pieces maybe, how might they begin to see that sun rising? Titein Emet LeYaakov. Jacob's truth is what sets us free. I invite you, if you can, to please rise. Olam chesed yibaneh, yalai lalai lai lai. Olam chesed yibaneh, Yalai, lai, 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 lai. Olam chesed yibaneh. Yalai, lai, lai, lai. Olam chesed yibaneh. Yalai, lai, lai, lai. I will build this world from love. Lie, 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 lie. You must build this world from love. Yet lie, 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 lie. If we build this world from love, yet lie, 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 lie. God will build this world from love. Ya lie, 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 lie. Olam chesed yibaneh. Ya la lie, 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 lie. V'nemar v'haya Adonai למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. We invite all of those who are in mourning to please rise for the mourner's Kaddish. As we share a screen full of the names of loved ones who are being lifted up tonight, inviting you to look and see and find and pray with and elevate and remember. Mourner's Kaddish can be found on the screen in front of you. I invite all of you to please respond with the appropriate response. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
B'olma divrach Yerusei v'yamlich machusei. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kariv v'yimru amen yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach le'olam yomei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitala shmei dekudsha brichu leila min kol birchata v'shivata tush bechata v'nechemata damiran be'oma v'yimru amen yehei shlom Rabbah min shmaya V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, u'mirachamav yaseh shalom aleinu. V'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen. Good Shabbos, everyone. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbos, Maya, good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Hey everybody, we have a lot of thank yous. So we're going to fill up a little cup of blessing. Everybody get your cup of blessing, a little Kiddush cup, and we're going to just pour some gratitude into this cup. All of these amazing people behind the scenes, check out their faces and their names and their titles and what they do because they work hard. Costa Rica, Aliza Rivka is in Costa Rica, and she was trying to help behind the scenes, and power went out. It was a whole thing. Pretty amazing. So we have this incredible team. Rabbi Koloresis, Janice Elster, you see them, our incredible team, and specifically tonight to you, Maya, and to Chazan Schechter, so beautiful, and Jeffrey Kahn. And behind the scenes tonight, where's Rebecca? Can we see you, Rebecca? There you are on screen. Can we see Rebecca? There's Eliza Rivka. She's in Costa Rica. There's Rebecca Feldman. Hi, Rebecca. You're amazing. I know you had a long week, and you were amazing tonight. Nothing would have happened without Rebecca and without Eliza Rivka. And let's see. Michaela, thank you. Michaela is a doctor who works for Romemu out of Belgium. Thank you, Michaela. So great to have you with us. Into this cup of blessing, this incredible Romemu team. And of course, into this cup of blessing, right, this community. It's a pretty beautiful community. Has anybody seen? There's Shelley and there's Sinai. Have you seen some of these people? They're pretty amazing. Check out, go scrolling through, see if you see anybody. A little Shabbat Shalom with your eyes. A little Shabbat Shalom. We're going to go scrolling through in a minute just to check everybody out. But let's first lift this cup of blessing into Kiddush. Ready, everybody? Ready? Yes? I can't hear you guys. Wait a sec. I'm kidding. I know I can't hear you.
Yes.
There. Oh, Jeffrey. Vayer vayivoker. It was evening and then morning. Yom Hashishi, the 6th day. Vayichul v'ashamayim v'atzvechot tzva'am. Heaven and earth had a chasana. They got married. Above and below, met in the middle, in our hearts, and said, let's make Shabbat. V'chot tzva'am. Echal Elohim hayom hashvi melachto asher asach. Vayishbos bayom hashvi mikom melachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim es yom hashvi vayikadesh oso ki v'oshavas mikom melachto asher bar Elohim lasos sahavri chaverai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher ginishanu b'tosav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava v'ratzon inchilanu Zikaron l'maaseh v'reishis Ki hu yom nechilim mikra'ei kodesh Zeicher liyitzias Mitzrayim Kivanu v'charta v'yosanu kidashta Im kol ha'amim V'shabas kodshecha V'yahava u'v'ratzon Hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbos.
Amen.
Who is that, Sinai? Thank you, Sinai. Amen to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, boo-boo. All right, here we go, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Orzi. Shabbat Shalom. Maya, unmute yourself. Come on. I want to hear your voice. Shabbat Shalom. Andrea, Shabbat Shalom.
Good
Jordy.
Shabbos.
Shabbos. Oh, climbing up. Let's get this chair over here.
Have some grape juice.
You can have some.
Yeah. It's
Sinai.
around here.
Sinai was here. There's Robin. John. There's Valerie and Mark. Iva. Harriet, how's your back? Better today? Hi, Renee and Adam. Good Shabbos. Carolyn Bracha. Amy Wachtel. Good Shabbos. And in Thanksgiving, Carol Anshine. Surah Miriam. Sandra. Shabbos Naomi. Jory. La 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 la.
Shabbos, Daddy.
Shabbos Orzi. Shabbos. Shabbos Jamie. Good Shabbos. Shabbos Mark. We missed you this week, Mark. We can't wait for you to be back with us. Mark Horn. Shabbos, Mark Horn. Good Shabbos, Linda. It was good to see you last night.
I don't know Mark Cohen.
Hey, there's Noah. Look, it's Noah and Felice. And look, Daikin. Shabbos. And there's Annette. Hey, Joel, Annette. Good Shabbos, guys. Susie and Pam, Ariella, Elise and Jason, Abby, Marsha.
Hi.
Shabbos. You want to hear them? They're not speaking though, but they're just waving. Can you wave them? You can hear the song. You want to hear the song? Barbara, good Shabbos, Keith, good Shabbos, Rich, good Shabbos, everyone.
Green Galley.
Green Golly, I know.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbos, Eden, good Shabbos.
Green Galley person.
Arnie and Barbara, we love you.